AI made me $475,724 in the last 30 days with an AOV of $59 and subscriptions about 20% of our revenue. AI literally helped us find this product. It helped us build the offer, build a landing page, build a website, funnels, ads, literally everything, pretty much 90% of the work, okay? And if you want to learn how you can do this on a day-to-day basis and generate, let's see where we're at today, $11,000 a day, then listen up because I'm going to break down the entire process right now. So a lot of you guys think that the market is saturated or the product you have sucks, when in reality, your product, okay, is never the problem, okay? You can literally make this type of money, never the problem. So get this in your head, okay? So your product is never the problem. You can literally make money with almost any single product you pick. Like you can close your eyes, blindfold them, scroll on Amazon or on TikTok or on cable data and be like, this is the one, and most likely still be able to make money with it. The problem that you guys have is a positioning problem. And let me explain what I mean by that. So this is the total addressable market, okay? This is everybody who's looking to buy the product that you're selling. So we're going to call this TAM, okay? And for the sake of this example, let's say we are selling charcoal toothpaste or any type of special new toothpaste, whatever the main things are right now, okay? The way you guys currently marketing, and this is the way you guys think, correct me if I'm wrong, right? You're like, okay, Hi Smile, right? One of the bigger brands that I use at least, is currently saying, hey, if you need help whitening your teeth, right, and you are a smoker, then buy our product. And by following this acquisition funnel and this angle, right, whatever their offer is, blah, 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 right, they are making millions of dollars a year. So you, as a new dropshipper, come in mind and you're like, oh, banger product, let me go ahead and sell it. And not only let me sell it, let me copy their website, let me copy their offer, or maybe make it cheaper, right? You think, if I make it cheaper, people are going to buy it for me. And then let me go ahead and rip their ads with AI. But what you don't understand is when you do this, okay, you are signaling or telling Facebook that you want the same exact person that they're spending thousands of dollars a day, right, that you don't have to acquire the customer. So clearly, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is you're marketing, you cannot outbid the auction that they are spending money on to acquire that customer. So the solution for you is to understand that, one, the product is proven, right? The product works, there is a demand for that product. And then be like, okay, if they're targeting smokers with yellow teeth, I need to go ahead and target kids, right, who not even smoke, but let's say not even brush their teeth as much. Or let me go ahead and target people who have sensitive teeth, right, that are tired of using Colgate. Or let me go ahead and target somebody who has bad breath and say, hey, it's probably because of your toothpaste and it doesn't have X, Y, and Z ingredients. And if you do that, you're still solving the main problem, okay, that is teeth whitening, but now you're speaking to a underserved segment of this market that is not saturated, okay? But when you go ahead and you say, hey guys, buy my teeth whitening kit or my teeth whitening product, and it's the same as this, you are talking to the whole market. And when you are talking to everybody, you are not talking to anybody. So my goal in this video is to help you guys understand how to do this, but also just walk you through the entire process of having AI find us our product right now, picking our product, understand how to position it, run the offer, make the ads, so on and so forth. So the first thing you need to do is download, literally this is thousands of dollars worth of game right here, is my prompt sheet, okay? First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna copy the first prompt, that is my product hunt prompt. And I'm going to go over to ChatGPT, okay? And I'm gonna paste my prompt. What does this prompt say? You are a product research expert with access to the entire internet. My goal, or your goal, is to look through Amazon, TikTok, Google, blah, 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 and find me products that solve a real everyday problem, can be sourced easily, have a 5 to 10x markup, in demand, ideal for branded dropshipping, and have an arbitrage opportunity, which I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what that is here shortly. Then you're going to click enter. And just like that, ChatGPT is going to search the web for us and find us some product ideas. And now we wait. We wait and see what it's going to give us. So collagen jawline mask, PDRN. I did a video about this, I think about a month and a half or 2 months ago, and this fucking category in this product has absolutely exploded since I did a video about this. Mirror Skin Jelly Toner. I've been seeing these on TikTok right now. I want to find something that's like saturated, that a lot of you guys are like, this is too saturated, I don't want to do it. And I'm going to prove to you how to do so. So let's see. It's not what it is here. So let's do more options, okay, that are consumable, right? Or used day to day, pretty much. So I'm trying to find like a cosmetic, a supplement, etc., that is more saturated. I'm literally trying to pick the most saturated product I can find right now and kind of see what we can do with it. So booty care sounds interesting, honestly. Beauty gummies, probiotic magnesium, daily microbiome, daily digestive biome. So there's a lot here, right? And again, if you don't like any, give me more, and it will continuously find you more and more products. Your goal throughout this process, in an ideal situation, is you go through every single one of these. You don't go based off preference and how you feel or what you feel. You go through this list one by one and see which one you think you're going to be the best person to be able to market this product. Okay, so if I keep scrolling here, let's see what we can find. NAD beauty or wellness powder supplements. Okay, I think we can all agree this is the most saturated. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this. This is a hot product that's in demand, that's saturated for a lot of you guys. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to paste it on my Figma board. Okay, and now, okay, before I show you guys exactly how I would go about positioning this, I want to break down the main concept. The idea is, we go back to this TAM, okay, this big slice of pizza right here. Excuse my hand drawing. TAM. What you need to understand is almost every single market, every single problem that you are looking to solve with that product that is saturated has a few main players, okay? And we're talking about the main players. So usually between 1 to 5, right? So let's say there's 3 for NAD. So the way each person in the market segments their slice of this TAM, right, of this pizza, is by having or being good at a single thing. So, for example, brand 1 could be really good with pricing, okay? They could have the best fucking price and people are going for the best price or the best deal for NAD because they're already aware of the product and what it does, okay? The next person could be the best marketer, okay? What does that mean? They could have the most awareness and they're creating the most awareness in that atmosphere, in that market where people keep hearing NAD, 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 but they're not necessarily the best seller. Why? Because let's say their price or their offer, right, or the way they market isn't necessarily appealing to everybody in that TAM. The third person, for example, could be competing on quality. What does that mean? They could have a doctor-backed brand and say, hey, we're made in the USA, for example, and we have X, Y, and Z factors, right? But very rarely, okay, what you'll see is a brand that's good at everything. Therefore, there's not one brand that owns the whole space. It's like McDonald's and Burger King, right? People go to McDonald's for, I don't know, pricing maybe, Burger King for whatever, right? It's just preference. So our goal is to not only understand this, right? There's not anything specific you want to do based off this information, but understand the competitive landscape in the space. And then from there, say, okay, if brand number 1 is crushing it because of, let's say, price and marketing, okay, now you need to understand, okay, who is buying it and not market the same person. Then you need to be like, okay, which of the channels are they good at? So let's say Amazon or Facebook. And then you're also not going to go ahead and compete with them on the same customer in the same channel. No, you'll compete on the same channel, but guess what? On a different customer. Let's say they're good at Amazon. You're going to go ahead and go, let's say, an arbitrage it onto Facebook. Let's say they're good on Facebook. Okay. You're not going to go ahead and copy them. No, you're going to understand that, okay, they're on Facebook. This is the type of funnel that's working for them, but now I'm going to target a different customer. So essentially your goal is to find the arbitrage. Okay, where is this competitor slacking, right? And how can I go ahead and maximize that opportunity? I'm going to explain this live, or at least I'll walk you guys through the mental framework here. So the first place I'm going to go into now is Amazon. Okay, this is the best place to usually search for stuff. I'm going to say NAD. Now I want to get a main competitive landscape of what it looks like. So out the gate, I'm sure we've all seen this. This is the best seller, okay? They're better priced than this person, for example, right? Better quality, looks like, kind of, I guess, right? Maybe better marketing. So instantly I'm like, okay, 50,000 units a month, bro. That is no joke at $35. There's already demand for this product. We already know this, okay? This person came, same product, right? Different customer segment that they're targeting with this type of branding. And they have this extra ingredient, it looks like, right? Urolithin A complex, so competing on quality or features, right? And they're still pushing 20,000 units at a more expensive price. Then you have these guys, new form, right? So they're like, hey, guess what? Everybody here is selling pills. Let me go ahead and sell gummies, all right? Boom. And from there, they're able to kind of mark their way, but they're also what? Low quality. Why are they low quality? Because they're low price, right? Then you see these guys, right? Taking this special offer. So they're patented. They're backed by a Nobel winning scientist, right? So they're taking a new, unique opportunity or positioning in the market and attracting people at a way more expensive price and still selling 10,000 units, right? So you get a general landscape, right? Then you see these guys. Check this out, right? So new, same product, but guess what? New form of arbitrage. So we already see gummies, right, that are launching, starting to pick up steam, but they're competing on price, right? We see only one powder. Is this powder or pills? I'm curious. Capsules. Okay, so this is capsules, right? But maybe it looks like a powder too, right? Then you have powder right here, and it's selling 2,000 units at also pretty similar price point. So essentially, right, what I'm trying to explain to you guys here, there's so many different ways to look at this arbitrage. But now my next step would be like, okay, these guys, let me go ahead and see what they're doing on Facebook and how are they marketing. So that's not the brand name, it's Catacor, okay? And we all know Catacor is pretty big. But anyways, I want to walk you guys through my thought process. So I'm going to come here. I'm in Spain right now, Marbella actually. So we're going to change the United States to the location. And I'm going to put Catacor. And what I want to do now is understand how are these guys marketing. Okay, so view ads, 120 results. Let's take a look at their main offer, right? So buy two, get one, and it looks like they're forcing people with automatic refills in order to get subscription. Pretty good content, pretty good straightforward funnel, right? Product page, transformation, us first them, FAQs, right? Product listing. Like this is gold right here. Let's see what else are they doing. Are they running any pre-sales? Doesn't look like it so far, right? I'm going to keep scrolling by here, right? No pre-sales, for example, right? Let's see here. Same thing, same page, right? Everything is the same. They're just doing a Labor Day sale. I'm going to scroll down even more, see some of their retargeting, for example, right? So they're pretty much pushing all traffic to the same place. Instantly, the first thing I understand here is who are they marketing to, right? Because if we understand the 5 levels of awareness, we understand that not every single consumer in a specific segment of the market can be sold to the same. Somebody who doesn't know what NAD plus is, let's say me, right, is not going to come here and read this all day, energy without crashes, brighter skin, reduce stress, and be like, oh yeah, I want to buy this because it's going to help me with all this. Why? Because it's not targeting. So the way I would approach this is be like, okay, I'm looking at all this information. Let me go ahead and now and use AI to help me analyze how I can compete with the best seller in the market. So now let's go back here, right? We already have or understand our product, right? So product is good. Let me just text this in. So product, okay, this is currently a check. Why? Because we found a product that's in demand, right? We have multiple people making over 500K a month on Amazon, right? It's replenishable, okay? We know we can easily source this. Why? Because there's already a bunch of people selling it, right? And we know it's in a demand and growing market that solves an everyday problem, which is, I think it was like skin, energy, etc., right? So these are all insecurities that we just checked off. Now we're trying to understand the main market. Who do we want to market to? So now what I do is I go ahead and I grab as many of these links as I can possibly get. I'm going to do a few for the sake of this video. And I'm going to have AI understand who they're marketing to. And then I'm going to do the same process for, let's say, this person and even this person. So let's go ahead and search up this person as well before we move on to the next step and just see what they're doing. So these guys are Art Natural Stores. We're going to duplicate this. And now we're going to search up this brand right here. So I'm just going to search up NAD, for example, and see if I can cross-reference any of the top guys that are showing up with, all right, that's definitely not it. So let's scroll here. So DuPage Wellness, this is a booking. GNC is running ads. We know they're not crushing it. Happy Aging. Let's see these guys. 76 or 67 results. Sorry. Let's see what they're doing. Is their main thing. Slow down biological aging, boost your energy, I think. Okay, look at this. So same product, NAD support, right? But different form. And what are they doing? They have more of this advertorial approach, right, to their product. But I bet you right now, if we search these guys up, whatever their name is. So if we go on Amazon and we search up Happy Aging NAD, they're probably not doing crazy numbers, right? They're not even on Amazon, right? Which is kind of crazy to think about. Right? They're not at that level yet. Therefore, they're already losing customers because when somebody comes to Amazon and search up Happy Aging, they don't show up. So somebody like this is maximizing or taking advantage of that. And this is a prime example of me showing you guys the arbitrage in the market, right? Because you also have to understand the landscape. So it's like you can wait until people find you on Amazon, but that means they've already heard about your product in so many different places, right? Where the customer now is going to Amazon and ready to buy. Or you can go ahead and grab this product that is hot, let's say on Amazon, and get to the customer before they even think about buying from anybody else. And that's really what you want to maximize on. That is the idea here. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to screenshot this entire page, right? I'm going to screenshot this entire page by my competitors. I'm going to go to my product launch sheet. I'm going to copy my first prompt. And I'm going to go to ChatGPT, start a new chat, and say, hey, you are my expert level direct response copywriter trained in high converting commerce, target audience. So I want to start a brand that sells NAD plus booster, right? To target audience. I want you to figure it out. Target audience that is underserved and being ignored by my competitors. Okay. I'm about to upload a screenshot of current competitor sales page or funnel. I want you to break down everything there is to break down, and you're going to insert your screenshots right here. So boom, I grab both screenshots. I'm literally going to upload both of the screenshots of my competitors right here, and I'm going to insert this and have it do the work. And now ChatGPT AI is going to help us specifically identify the opportunity and how we should go about marketing the same product that is in high demand, but to a completely new customer segment that's in the market that would be interested in buying our product because they're dealing with a problem that it solves. And this is pretty much the hardest part of the process. Is literally just you saying, okay, this product's in demand, let me pick it, and now let me go ahead and sell it. So as this is happening, right, you guys are probably wondering, hey, Mo, how do I go ahead about launching this product? Am I white labeling it? Am I rebranding it? Whatever. Right? So the process can be done in a million different ways. In my opinion, okay, if you are working with me one-on-one, here's what I would have you do. We go through our whole prompt template. We build our website, we make 3D renders, and we pretty much start to try and sell our product. So here's us, right? We are selling air. Okay, but everything is done as if we are a real brand, right? Boom, blah, 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 blah. Once we get sales and we know that the arbitrage opportunity is there, so I spend $100, I'm going to make $100 to $200. Day one. Okay, day one, I want to see those types of results. By day two, I should be getting a 2x ROAS. Bare minimum, like 1.5 to 2x ROAS. If I see that, now I'm going to go ahead and either find white label product or somebody I can dropship. Okay, the difference here is white label, you're probably going to have to do an MOQ, 50 units, 100 units, whatever it is to start. Dropship, you find somebody in China, maybe sometimes in the US, and be able to do that. So if I were to go ahead and search it up, NAD, white label, or manufacturer, for example, I'm probably going to come through a lot of different options. And your goal, ASIO is actually a really good AI right here, not sponsored. Except I want to dropship a NAD supplement. Boom. First, find out what are the top selling NAD supplements currently, then find me some products and reliable suppliers for them. Enter. And now we have an AI to source our product. And in the meantime, I'm still not going to only rely on AI. I'm going to call the manufacturers that I can find here and see, okay, Boom, right? So they have powder form, right? Add to bag. Let's see how much this is per unit that they're currently selling it at. But your process should be pretty simple. You call up as many people as possible and you try to find the best price, the best communication, and the easiest person to work with, essentially. Like, your main goal is to find somebody who's replying to you quick, that can give you a good price, and that's willing to negotiate. If somebody out the gate is like, we can't negotiate, they're taking days to reply, blah, 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 that is not a supplier I want to work with. You just have to reach out to enough people and you should be able to find a supplier that's willing to work with you. And don't expect it to be like zero risk. Like, sometimes you just have to buy 50 units up front. So what? It's not a big deal, bro. You're looking to make millions of dollars, but you're scared to put a couple hundred. If you don't have it, Uber Eats, DoorDash, do something to make a couple hundred. It can't be rocket science, right? So this is the process that I would do in order to find a manufacturer and, again, pretty much be able to find somebody I can rely on in order to find my product. So we'll give this a few minutes and we'll go back to our chat GPT right here and see what they're doing. So right away, competitor A, psychology and beliefs, here's what they're doubling down on. So slow down biological aging and boost your energy. Structure, big promise, pass, problem, agitate, solution. As you get older, your cells lose power. Aging curve graph. So they're showing you, this is the Happy Living, I believe it's called, Happy Aging brand, right? So that's what they're leaning into, right? Offer 2x a week, longevity shot, right? Primary social proof, blah, 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 right? Overall effectiveness, clear big promise, strong authority, educational lead, makes the promise feel earned. Visual hierarchy. What could be better? Quantification, how much, right? Mechanism clarity, right? Why is taking this shot twice a week really good? Price anchors, cost per shot versus daily coffee, blah, blah, blah. Competitor B, right? They're breaking down the psychology, right? Who they're talking to. So drop levels with age, triggers loss aversion, performance in youth, reverse aging, cellular repair. So they're doubling down on this versus these guys aren't. So the thing is, we're going to see right now is a lot of similarities. Why? Because they're both selling to the same audience, but a different mechanism. One is selling a liquid shot, one is selling a product or a capsule. In that scenario, it's fine to target the same audience because some people may not want to take a pill and some people may not want to drink a shot. Therefore, they can get the same product in different forms. But in other times, right, you're going to have to compete on the same exact form. So if you're going to sell a pill, then you have to go ahead and be able to sell that pill to somebody that these guys are not bidding and spending money on. Right? So it's going to go ahead and tell us exactly everything we need. Cross learnings, own the lowest effort, highest consistency angle. Okay, so competitor A, 2x a week, Sunday morning ritual, blah, blah, blah. Competitor B, 9 to 3 times absorption because it's a pill. So it's saying, hey, because this is a pill, you're going to get better. And essentially, it's going to give us everything we need in order to stand out. Right? And it's going to give you exactly what you need to do next in order to be able to launch this product. But we're not just going to rely on this. Now we're going to go to step 2, which is competitor research. So we have this 6-page prompt. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this right now. And I'm going to tell it to pretty much do a deep dive research for me to get another level of information that I'm really going to be able to utilize. Because remember, right now, we didn't specifically ask it to find the lowest or the gap in the market that we're looking for. Right now, we just want to teach AI to specifically understand the landscape of the market. That is the main thing right now. Okay, I wanted to see exactly how people are marketing, what they're leaning on, how they're positioning themselves, and what their main products are. From there, I'm going to go ahead and give this, right? Boom. Hey, I need you to go ahead and give me the full thing, do a deep research report, and I'm going to click enter. And within a few minutes, it should give us all the information that we're looking for, and now we wait. And ideally, you want to make sure you have deep research, but again, I'm going through this video, so I want to run through this as fast as I can to really get a better feel. So here are the main things you want to understand here, okay? First is common problems that ideal customer wants. So you have low energy is one angle. Poor recovery is one angle. Joint and back pain is another angle. Allergy symptoms is another angle, okay? Aging signs, wrinkles, skin dullness, brain fog, reduced endurance. Every single one of these is a segment in the market, okay? What does that mean? So let me draw it out to you. So I'm selling NAD, okay? Brand number 1 is selling NAD for, what do we say? Longevity, right? We just broke it down right here. If you go back to ChatGPT, right? So competitor A, aging anxiety, slow down biological aging. So they're saying, hey guys, if you hate aging, okay, we'll call it aging right here, right? They're spending a fuck ton of money here and they're maximizing on this. And then guess what? Competitor number 2 is also doing, where is competitor B? Right here, reverse aging and cellular repair. Okay, so we come here. We'll even make this piece of the pie a little bit bigger now because 2 people are fighting in it, right? They're also doing aging and cell repair. Okay, excuse my writing. I know it sucks, whatever. Right? So this is the TAM, and this is the current saturation, okay, that's happening in the market. And this is where the majority of the money, it looks like it's being spent based off the research. So me, right, understanding the smart marketer I am, right, I come down to my deep research. I now see that my audience, okay, struggles with all of these problems. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different angles that I can go ahead and target. But my competitors that are already making millions of dollars a year are only targeting the main ones, right? Which is aging. So let's even call it wrinkles, right? Right here. And poor recovery and low energy. Let's say you take this out, right? What does that leave me with? Brain fog, okay? Allergy symptoms, joint and back pain. This is a fucking banger. Like, imagine telling somebody, hey, your joint and back pain is actually not because you're sitting on your desk all day. Like, yeah, that helps, but it's because when you're off of your desk, you're not recovering, right? And because you're not recovering, or the reason you're not recovering is because your cells aren't necessarily repairing because you're growing older. Therefore, you need NAD. So now you just open up a completely new market here that struggles with joint pain, and you tell them, hey, the solution to your joint pain is actually NAD, and you're missing NAD in your body. Therefore, your joints aren't recovering as quick as you'd like them because of your age. Bro, just by doing that, now you've tapped a completely new avatar in this huge market that's going to allow you to actually start getting sales right away. And nobody's competing and saying, hey, where is the joint pain sellers? Like, if we come here, right? Look, Glow Shot versus David Bar. These guys are competing for skincare. Okay. If I search up skin, right? Look how many times they're talking about skincare and wrinkles. If I search up joints, zero results for joints. Here, joint, 0 results. But then I see skin. Okay. These guys are using skin 3 times in their ad copy, right? If I see aging, right? Look how many times they're talking about aging, right? And the problems of aging. Therefore, right away, bro, I already see a huge opportunity for me to sell a product that's in demand, but to a completely new avatar. And now I'm just going to keep going through, obviously, the deep research that ChatGPT gave me. So customer voice extractions. Okay, here are all the problems that the customers are talking about. So they started using True Niagen, much reduced joint and back pain. NAD taken orally isn't effective, okay, because it will be broken down into digestion. That's why precursors work better, right? So they're saying, hey, in the mouth, it's not as effective. I'd rather take it X, Y, and Z. Serious disease, developing cancer. I'm not saying go run the cancer angle, but I'm just saying there's opportunity there. Slowing down aging. We already know that's kind of already being used. Hopes and dreams. Youth restoration. Biohacking edge. Okay. Pain relief, bro. Pain fucking relief. Okay. I'm going to prove my point one more time here. Pain relief. Not a single time used. Pain relief. Not a single time reused. Go here. Pain relief. No. Okay. Pain relief. Also no. Bro, this is literally what my customers are looking for. Look, hopes and dreams. My customers' hopes and dreams, okay, are literally to ease off the pain in my joints, in my back, and my other symptoms. Therefore, I should be selling NAD to people who have these problems, right? Joint and back pain right here. I can't even make this up, bro. I literally can't even make this up. Like, this is literally live. I was doing this. Right, here's another one. Improved sleep. Nobody's selling NAD for sleep. Let's go back here. Sleep. Okay, they've used sleep 5 times in their ad copy. Let's go to the other guys. Sleep. Okay, 21 times. Right, so they understand that, hey, our competitor isn't targeting sleep. We're going to go ahead and do that. So you see, this is like the idea that I want to really get through for you guys in order to allow you to understand the arbitrage that's available in every single market and why AI is so important in every single case. Then it's going to give you the summary, part 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Right. And it's going to continue giving me more and more information to understand exactly how I want to go about my offer. So Now I'm going to go into more. So competitor analysis. Here's number one, right? Here's where they're good at. Core promise, right? Social proof, funnel structure, homepage, product detail with quiz. So they are running a quiz funnel. And then they have different size. No VSLs or lead magnets indicated. So next up we have, let's see, Renew by Science, which is, I believe, another competitor. E-com site with product pages, subscription options, appears research and test oriented. So again, no VSLs, no pre-sales, etc. Funnel, multi-product brand with testing supplements, likely email capture for index. I don't know what that means, but okay. Likely VSL or product page, not specified. So again, now your goal should be to go through these and really just get a better idea of like, okay, is this accurate or not? Single product focus, which is this option. So instantly out the gate, by just doing some of this research, we see that nobody's running a pre-sale. Only one person is running a quiz. Nobody's running specific landing pages, right? They're just pushing product pages on the website. So just by seeing the landscape and understanding this from a very high level, I already know there's different approaches that I can take to market in order to sell this product. Opportunities and angles, gaps in the market, clear citation of human time to benefit, okay? Saying when users feel something. This is maybe a legal thing, that's why, okay? Segment specific language. Nobody's talking about these angles right here. So hormonal cycle support, NAD can help that? Cool, let me go ahead and talk to a woman and say, hey, your hormones are a mess, therefore you should take NAD, right? Boom, another customer avatar that we just unlocked, right? Overused, we don't want to talk about clinically proving, we don't want to talk about anti-aging, and we don't want to talk about price per dose. Everybody's already talking about these things about NAD. I don't want to say that. I want to say something completely different, right? I want to be the person to be like, oh my God, did you know if you eat onions, they're good for your stomach? Who's ever said that about onions? Nobody. Does the research back it? Yes. Cool. Now I want to go ahead and eat onions because they're good for my stomach. Okay. So this is the goal of this research. Okay. Feeling old and tired, afternoon crash. Joint pain is number 3. Nobody's talking about joint pain. Bro, any of you guys running this, please, for the love of God, launch NAD, focus on joint pain, and go ahead and fucking print and come back to me. But you get the point. Okay. I'm not going to keep reiterating myself. Boom. So now I have this. It's going to say, if you can now, we can draft a wireframe, hero section, blah, blah, blah. That's cool, but no, I already have my prompts. So next 3 is the avatar deep dive. Now I want specifically to target somebody in the joint pain niche. So I'm going to copy this prompt. I'm going to come back here. I already made my mind up. Avatar deep dive. I'm thinking of focusing on the joint pain angle and avatar. Okay, I want you to help finalize everything I need to know in order to target this person. Boom. Now we have all the main stuff that we're going to be able to use in order to create and prepare our ads, which we're going to do next. And just like that, again, you can read through all of this on your own, but right here, biggest goals and emotional pain points. This is the main thing we want. So Karen, Judy, whatever her name is, Susan, right? She needs to stay active and pain-free for decades, to play with the grandkids, travel, and keep exercising. She wants to maintain her youthful appearance, and she's trying to prevent decline with her age. Pain points: achy knees, an achy back, not working out because you don't have the energy or because you're scared to get injured. Take NAD. You feel betrayed by your body by doing everything right. You're eating healthy, but you're still feeling older than ever. Your back's still cracking. You're waking up late, blah, blah, blah. Cool. We're going to sell you NAD. Anxiety about losing independence. So these are all the hooks and the marketing like basics or pillars that we're going to focus our content on, because we know that is the type of customer that we want to target. And they've already tried all of these, so we know these don't work for them, right? Key quotes, beliefs: I eat clean, I exercise, why do my joints still ache? Supplements feel like a gamble. Half the time you don't know anything, right? NAD pills don't work. You just pee it out if it doesn't absorb. What's the point, right? So we already know all the things that our customers are complaining about. Therefore, we're going to go ahead and market to say that we've solved those complaints. And obviously your product has to back it up or else they won't come back. But if you get the right product and it works, obviously we know that is a successful launch and a successful brand that you can go ahead and scale. Now, this is where things get a little bit fancy. So we've already, if we go to my brand launch system, we briefed our AI and we understand exactly the competitor landscape. We did our research. We called our avatar. Now we're going to go ahead and create our narrative, right? Which is pretty much building our offer. Okay. So I want to understand, using the ideal avatar, how can I go ahead and structure my offer? And boom, now it's going to tell me I should run a VSL or a pre-sale or a landing page. Why? Because it already now understands the landscape of all of our competitors, and it's going to know the best format. So best format, offer to lead with, low barrier entry, trial pack, 2 to 3 weeks, price $39 to $49, psychologically safe, test drive, then push into subscriptions, right? Bundles, stay active, bundle, hero offer, etc. So it's telling us that we should go ahead and pick a trial pack. So position our offer as, let's say, a 10-day service, right? Take 2 a day for 10 days or for 2 weeks for $39. The main thing here we want to understand, obviously all the information is helpful, but right here, funnel type to reach them fast, okay? How can we reach our customers as fast as possible? So it's saying primary paid channel, meta ads, okay? They're spending all their time. The audience range is 45 to 65, so that's who our ads are going to target. And then we're going to use UGC style, pain-driven, relatable points. And we're going to have a long-form product page or a trial pack offer with a subscription and post-purchase upsells. And by doing that, right, meta direct to PDP, no optimal retarget with authority testimonials. AI thinks this is our best strategy. It could work, it could not. If not, we tell it the feedback and we go ahead and reposition it. In my opinion, you can go ahead and run a pre-sale or a long-form landing page, right, and still be able to see successful. Why? Because we know our competitor is running a PDP, therefore we can probably run a PDP to a different offer as well and still crush it, right? Because again, the only thing we're arbitraging here is the actual audience. So technically I could copy their product page because I know it's converting for them. So it'll probably convert for me as long as I target another audience and have the copy on that page specific to that audience. Now I'm going to go ahead and guess what? Design my brands. And I'm going to use ChatGPT. I'm going to copy this prompt and I'm going to say, cool, I need your help. Go ahead and coming up with a brand name and a brand look and a brand feel in order to position myself in the market. Here's the full branding guide. Boom, it's telling you exactly what you should name it. Visual style, clean undercut colors, white, neutral background, subtle accents, herbs, plants, flowing water texture to signal clean and effective. You're going to be luxury wellness, not a hardcore biohacker, right? Boom, typography, packaging design. Oh, look at this, brand identities, Moon Juice, Athletic Greens, Aesop. So this is who is telling you to kind of market after. And next, what I'm going to do is go ahead and create me a mock-up product design with the info you mentioned. Boom. Right? And now let's see what we get. And boom, just like that, we have something called Sell Renew, which is honestly a pretty fucking good name. NAD booster, 2x a week. This is a shot, right? If we were going to take a shot, if not, we would take a pill. Anyways, I'm going to say, hey, go ahead and now create naming and tagline directions for the product that I want to sell. Boom. You're going to pick one of these, NAD Restore, Eternacell. That sounds pretty cool. Regenix. Honestly, I like that as well. Stride. Great name. Momentum. No pun intended. Right? So you want to look for a name that makes sense. Like, don't just fucking pick Luma. Like, what is Luma? Right? It's like pretty basic. You want to, like, Regenix means like regeneration. When I think of that, so I'm like, that makes sense, right? Sell Renew, pretty straightforward. It's giving you a feeling. It's making you understand what you're about. So I feel like sometimes with the naming, you guys can be a lot better. So keep that in mind. Now that we have all of this, I come back here. I'm going to say, hey, you're a direct response copywriter. Now go ahead and tell me what my next pretty much 5 main ad scripts are going to look like, right? Or who I should be targeting. ChatGPT is going to give me that. I'm going to come back here. Now I'm going to say, now give me the 5 best marketing ideas. Boom. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go in here. We have old belief. Supplements don't really work. I've tried supplements. The reason these didn't work is because they never fixed the root cause. So I'm going to target the root cause idea. If I swallow a pill, most of it breaks down in my stomach. That's true for most pills, but a liquid NAD shot, again, it's because it's doing a shot in this case, right? Etc. Aging decline, relief, if it worked, boom, boom, boom. So now you have the main marketing messages, essentially the 5 main marketing messages or angles that you're going to be using to target people with joint pain. Then I'm like, okay, here are 5 marketing ideas, or give me 5 marketing ideas campaigns designed to stop Susan, our ideal customer avatar, smash her old beliefs, and plant the seed that this NAD booster is the missing piece. Twice a week, not every day, feel your joints loosen up. That's literally your first hook and your first ad you're going to create. NAD is your body's power switch, and recharging it could mean less pain, more energy, and decades of movement back. That's your second one. Tired of supplements you never feel? Most pills break down. Here's our liquid version. The secret elite clinics have used for years without the IV. Boom, here's our second one. Move like your 30-year-old self again. This is fucking great. We're targeting this old lady, Susan, who is no longer cheerleading, working out, running, walking, and saying, hey, if you value those things and you miss them, NAD is going to solve that product for you. And from here, it's pretty straightforward, right? You're going to go ahead, make me 3 scripts, right, to use for my ads, plus 5 static ad headlines, plus copy and visual direction to launch with. And literally now we're going to have 3 scripts. Do your knees or back ache hurt even though you eat clean, exercise, take all the supplements? Boom. Agitate the problem. That was happening to me. So you're going to use a UGC avatar AI, right, on Arc Ads. Create this. Turns out the problem wasn't my joints. It was my cells running out of NAD+. Banger. It actually absorbs, unlike other pills. If you're interested, go ahead and buy my product, right? 3 banger scripts. Well, froze on my side, but now I've literally done all the heavy lifting by working with AI for 47 minutes for you guys, right? And I went ahead and I created all the marketing material that I need in order to launch. So now all you have to do, build your product page, which I'm not going to show you how to do that. It's pretty straightforward. Use something like Atlas or AutoDS or Replo, right? Build that product, or Instant Page, build that product page. Use Arc Ads or Creatify or Sora or Banana, whatever it is you want to use, right? Make your videos, get them edited by somebody in India for $5 to $10, and then go ahead and run your ads in a CBO campaign. And that is the 10% of the work that you have to do. Everything else is pretty much already done. So hopefully you guys got value out of this video. Let me know if one of you guys ends up running it or if you guys end up running this offer, this strategy. And if you're looking for help, one-on-one and in a group coaching call setting, then go ahead and apply in the link below where I can literally help you guys create the ads and show you how to do that. Help you guys run the ads and show you how to do that and scale it. Help you guys understand how to talk to manufacturers and even help you connect you with my Rolodex and everything else in between. If you are interested, apply in the link below. If not, hopefully you found this video valuable. Let me know in the comments and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.